Thank you for joining me for practice. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And in the description is a link to my Patreon account. If you can offer a donation for these classes, it's greatly appreciated. Namaste. All right, so let's get started in a comfortable seated position. You can just be in cross-legged position, or if you want, you can move into something closer to Siddhasana, which is to place the heel as close to the perineum as possible. Take the other ankle, place it on top, and tuck the toes between the calf and the thigh. So it's a little bit more of an opening here for the inner groin and for the hips. So if that's distracting or uncomfortable in any way, then just sit in Sukhasana. That's perfectly fine. Hands on top of the knees, close the eyes, and take a moment to settle in. And feel the sit bones anchored into the earth. Lift through the crown of the head. And just begin to relieve some of the pressure off the discs. And as the body elongates, begin to release any gripping around the breath and watch a slow, smooth inhale and a slow, smooth exhale. Inhale, belly swells. Exhale, navel contracts to spine. And then once we establish that smooth breath, we're going to do a little bit of a body scan. So starting at the crown of the head, just with your mind, scan down past the forehead, into the eyes, temples, nose and ears. Just observe what's there, moving down into the mouth, the jaw, down to the sides of the neck. Observing down into the shoulders. Notice if there's tension or space. Down through the chest, front and back of the heart. Moving down through the upper arms, through the torso. Observing the diaphragm. Down into the digestive organs, feeling still the belly breathing, and into the pelvic floor, and the hips, feeling the lower arms and the hands, on through the thighs and the knees, and the calves and the feet. And just observe what areas feel healthy, what areas feel like they're asking for a little attention. And in the Taittiriya Upanishad, they speak of the Kosha model, which is that there are layers that cover the light of our soul, the awareness of that. And that the outermost layer is the physical body. And it is the physical body that we are generally most familiar with. And it becomes very obvious when there's an area that's out of balance or out of health, and we can feel it. There's a clear and distinct signal sent to the nervous system that alerts us to any pain or difficulty. Now, of course, there's some that sit under the surface that are less detectable. But for the most part, in our physical body, we can be fairly aware of its health or lack thereof. And the physical body we can think of like our vehicle, what we've been given as a gift in the birth of this life to move around space. That we need this vehicle in order to operate on this earthly plane. So it is of utmost importance that we take care of it. We feed it good food, we give it rest, we exercise, and we do all the fundamental physical health things that we need to do in order to live pain-free. Now the next layer to check into is called the pranamaya kosha, and this would be the energy body. So for a moment, go a layer below the physical body and begin to sense, how is the energy moving in your body today? Are there areas that feel particularly vibrant? Areas that maybe feel dull or numb? Just take a moment to scan and observe that. And then we can bring some balance to this energetic body through breathing. Breathing techniques, we can utilize the breathing throughout the practice, and we can have specific pranayama practices at the end of our asana practice. Well, the third layer then is the manomaya kosha, the layer of the mind. So check in with the mind. Observe how the mind is today. Is it busy? Is it distracted? Is it stupefied? Dull? Agitated? Notice the mind. And pranayama has a great effect. Breathing exercises have a great effect on the mind. And also concentration and meditation. These are the techniques that we can work with the mind. And the layer underneath the mind would be the vijnanamaya kosha. This would be our higher mind. You think of it as our discerning mind. So in yoga we call it the buddhi, the aspect of mind that allows us to make the highest and best decision. That sometimes is not related to logic, sometimes it's not related to cultural conditioning, but really gets its information at the highest state from the messages coming from our intuition, from our higher self or our soul. This layer is very subtle. And just check in for a moment, reflecting perhaps on your week. Have I been utilizing this higher mind, or have I been following the lower mind of the senses and the ego, and even my conditioning? And then finally, the last layer takes us into the anandamaya kosha. They call this the bliss sheath. This is the layer that is the closest to the light of the soul, and therefore, in many ways, feels or seems like the soul itself. But it still, according to the teachings, is a layer over it. It's still not the pure essence, which is completely free from all suffering. So just take a moment to tap into the anandamaya kosha, the feeling of deep-seated connection, complete and total purity of thought, mind, body, emotion, in total harmony. And finally, we're going to bring the hands together in front of the heart, keeping that good feeling with you. And just with the mindfulness of these 5 different layers, bringing into your intention today to be aware of them as you move through each of the postures, as we move into pranayama at the end of the practice, and ultimately reaching that state of concentration, meditation, and hopefully bliss by the end of the practice. So just asking for that mindfulness today, and if there's anything that you want to add to that intention to make it more personal, please state that mentally now. We'll begin the practice with a chant of Om 3 times. Deep inhale in. Long exhale out. Another deep inhale in. Just lower your chin to your chest. And take time to gradually open your eyes, coming back into the room. We're going to begin in tabletop position. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet press firm into the earth. Some undulations of the spine here. Inhale, the heart lifts, sit bones lift as you look up. Stay in tabletop position, press deeply into the hands, knees, and feet, round the back, and take the navel towards the back body. Repeat that again. Inhale, heart lifts, sit bones lift as you look up. Draw the shoulder blades down your back, keep the navel engaged. Exhale, push down into hands, knees, and feet, round the back, take the navel deeply in towards the back body. Good, keep going. And now we're going to bring in that Samavriti, inhale being the same length as the exhale. So count the length of this exhale here as you draw the navel in and up and push deeply into hands, knees, and feet. And then match the length of your inhale to the length of that exhale. Now the pattern for today's practice is going to be chest, ribs, belly on inhalation, and belly, ribs, chest on exhalation. So as you breathe in, you're going to fill the collarbones, the heart, down towards the diaphragm. And on the exhalation, you're going to lift the pelvic floor, navel in and up, and start pushing that diaphragm back up and squeezing the breath out through the lungs and the chest. 2 more here, please. Starting to create a relationship here to the physical body through observation and mindfulness. And then sit back tall on your heels, so knees and feet together. Bring your hands onto your sacrum. Feel your long spine. Inhale, stand on your knees, reach your right arm up and over your head. And then exhale, bring the hand to the sacrum and take the forehead to the floor. Draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, stand on your knees, bring your left arm up and over the head. And exhale, hand to the sacrum, forehead to the floor. Good, repeat that. Inhale, remember your Samavriti. Inhale is matching the length of the exhale. Exhale, really pull the abdomen in to support the back as you come down. Inhale the left arm up, extension. And exhale, forehead to the floor, hand to sacrum. So 2 more on the right, 2 more on the left, please, with your pace, so no rush. Feel the stretch along the lateral as you inhale. Feel the contraction of the abdomen as you exhale. Now this time as you come down into that child's pose type position with the forehead on the floor, walk your hands forward, come up onto your fingertips, and let your heart soften through your shoulders. Head and neck is relaxed. Take the tips of the shoulder blades, hug them down your back a little bit. Shoulder heads away from the ears. And breathe into the full spine. So if we're following the pattern, we'll feel it in the shoulder blades, down towards the kidneys, all the way to the tailbone. Exhale, navel in and up, rib cage closer together, chest softening. One more here. And then hands plant, come back up into tabletop position. And we're going to do a little bit of strength for the core. So extend your right arm, left leg, flex through the heel of the foot. And then as you exhale, contract your abdomen, bring your knee into your chest and elbow to the knee. Inhale, reach away, extend, elongate, and then exhale, pull everything in, contract your core. So keep going with your breath, inhaling, exhaling. Push that back foot away. Really reach as much as you can away from the fingertips. And then use that core to really hug in. 2 more. Extend away 1 more time. And then we'll switch sides. So find your symmetry, your balance here for a moment. And now, left arm, right leg extends. Exhale, pull it in. Contract abdomen like a crunch. Inhale, reach away. Keep going, moving in and out mindfully. Sometimes the slower you go here, the more you're going to be working. Push that heel away from the fingertips. Really extend the leg. Good. 2 more here. And then find symmetry here. Oh, I'm sorry, extend the foot and the leg away 1 more time. And then lower that and find symmetry. From here, inhale, lift heart, lift sit bones, look up. And exhale, tuck the toes, find downward facing dog. Take 1 full breath here. So 1 inhale, 1 exhale. And then repeat that. Inhale, come down. Bring the knees down, squeeze your elbows tight into your side. Come into a modified chaturanga. Push back up, tuck the toes, and find downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Use your abdomen, contracting back towards the spine for more support. And inhale, knees to floor. Again, you're going to lift the toes, squeeze the elbows tight into the side. Modified chaturanga, push back up, tuck the toes, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Head and neck is relaxed. Keep lifting the sit bones up and away, elongating the spine. Bring the knees to the floor. Lift the toes, squeeze the elbows tight. Modified chaturanga. Come back up. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog for 4 breaths. And now that we're here for 4 breaths, find your alignment principles. So feet about hip distance apart, toes turned in slightly, heels out. Roll the inner thighs in and back. Allow the sit bones to spread. As the sit bones spread, tailbone can lift a little higher, extending the spine. Head and neck's completely relaxed. Roll your shoulder heads away from your ears. Hug the inner elbows like they're squeezing a block and push firmly through the web of the index and thumb. And then on each exhalation, really pull the navel in and up under the rib cage. Good, and then rise onto the balls of your feet when you finish this last one. Come forward into standing forward fold. A little micro bend in your knee. Let the pressure come off your lower back. If you want to slide your hands down, we're going to wrap our arms around our calves. Head and neck is completely relaxed here. Take the shoulder heads away from the ears so there's space in the neck. Let gravity pull on the crown of the head. And make sure you're not sinking in your heels. Come forward just slightly in the balls of the feet. And you can lift the tailbone as high as you can. Those of you with a little more flexibility can straighten the legs. One more breath here. Good. Sweep your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. Take your knuckles up and away from you. Now stretch out your shoulders. And just feel some space there. If you want to floss the shoulder blades a little bit, take the knuckles over the head, then pull them back towards your sacrum. And just go back and forth a few times, loosening all that up. Any tension that might be there. Last two. Now bend in your knee, hands to your hips, press into the feet and rise up to standing, and then roll your shoulder heads back a few times. Loosen the upper arms. We did a lot of pressure there on the arms, so just make sure that they feel good and then go in the other direction. So loosen them the other way. We're gonna get all that blood flow through there. Very nice. And then standing mountain pose for just a moment. So we'll establish that firm foundation. And I love the name of that posture for standing mountain pose. We think of the wide base of the mountain and then coming to the peak. Last breath. Very nice. So we'll come to the front of our mats just for classical sun salutation. Big toes are touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Micro bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, hands on the shins, flat back, draw the shoulder blades down your back, extend your spine, and exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. For the first round, we modify, bring knees to floor. Squeeze the elbows tight as the belly comes down, tops of the feet ground, elbows and shoulders pull back as you inhale to cobra, and exhale to downward facing dog, navel up and back, 5 full breaths. So same alignment principles here. Really concentrate now on each exhalation, taking that navel in and up under the rib cage. Hollowing out the belly. Ujjayi breathing. Remember your pattern. Chest, ribs, belly. Exhaling, belly, ribs, chest. Samavriti. Last breath. And rise onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, look at your hands. Step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale to monkey pose, flat back. So hands on the shins, extend the spine. Exhale, forward fold. You can keep that micro bend and then inhale, press into the feet, lift and rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart or down by your side. Repeat that again. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine, micro bend the knee if you need it. Inhale, monkey pose, flat back, and exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. This time, see if you can leave your knees lifted for chaturanga. If they're lifted, roll over the toes into upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Navel contracts on exhalation. And really try to steady your gaze. So as the eyes get steady, the mind gets steady. And then we can utilize that space, utilize that energy to really focus on the physical alignment. We can use it to focus on the breath or on any particular visualization that we'd like to bring into our practice. At the completion of your 5th breath, come onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, look at the hands, step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. And exhale, forward fold. And inhale, lift and rise all the way up, arms reach. And exhale, hands to the heart. Again, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back monkey pose. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position, chaturanga your way, knees lowered or lifted. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog, 5 full breaths. So starting to feel some warmth building in the body. This is one of the benefits we get from doing sun salutations. And as the body warms up, we're moving things around and cleaning and clearing out. And bringing health to that physical form, the outermost layer of our being. But we have to remember it's only one part, just one piece of the puzzle. Last full breath here. And at the bottom of the exhale, balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop forward. Inhale to monkey pose, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. And inhale, lift and rise all the way up, arms reach. And exhale, hands to heart. Last 2, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog, 5 breaths. So sun salutation A is a very common sun salutation. We use it frequently. The other thing that we find is we use it to transition sometimes between right side or left side or in between sequences. It's a really great way to keep that internal fire going. Last breath here. Rise onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop forward. Inhale the monkey, flat back, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Arms reach, exhale, hands to heart, and last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back, plank position, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. As you focus on that Samavriti pattern, really hollow out the belly. The more we create that relationship to the core, the more stable we feel in all of our asanas. That there really is something about that center place, moving from there, that provides the anchoring, the stability, to do it all safely and to go deeper. Last one. And balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, step or lightly hop forward. Inhale, monkey, flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Arms reach. And exhale, hands to heart. Either keeping your hands at your heart or bringing them down by your side. Once again, that standing mountain pose. Feel the strength and the stability. So when the physical body is healthy and we don't have to think about it, then we can concentrate on the health of the other layers. If there's too many aches and pains in the physical body, that takes precedence. And it utilizes all of our energy just to care for that. One more breath here. So hands to hips, we're going to put weight into our left foot. Grab onto the top of our right foot with our right hand. Now once you get that foot in, squeeze the inner thighs toward one another. And then draw the heel to the glute. Now, when we do something like this, it's really easy for the low ribs to poke out in front of us. So can you contract the abdomen, drawing the low ribs in while still keeping the heart open? And then just feel the front of that thigh get a nice deep stretch. Think of lengthening the tailbone towards the earth, pulling the lower belly in and up. Now inhale, lift the left arm up in the air if it's comfortable. And we're going to micro bend the left knee and slowly come forward. Keep the heel drawing towards the glute and move into forward fold. Fingertips to the floor or to your block. Keep squeezing the inner thigh toward the midline of the body. Hug that heel towards the glute. Breathe deeply here. Heart is lifted, flat back. Just utilizing the hand for support. 2 more breaths. Maybe see if you can lift that knee a little higher, creating just a little more space. Last one here. Now you got to come out of it. You got to bend that supporting leg, extend the arm, rise up, and exhale, release. Bring the hand down, find mountain pose, and just feel. Let's do the other side. So this time weight into your right foot, grab onto the top of the foot with the hand, draw the inner thigh towards the midline of the body. And remember, you're getting that heel to the glutes. Watch that tendency for the low ribs to pop out. So contract your abdomen, pull the low ribs in while without collapsing the heart, continuing to lift the sternum. So if you've got tension in the front of that thigh, just observing that. And then if you're comfortable here, right arm lifts up. You could maybe just stay there, that's an option, or you're gonna start to come forward. Micro bend your supporting leg so that you're utilizing that muscle strength. And then bring the fingertips to the floor. Continue to hug the inner thigh of your left leg in towards the midline. Continue to draw that heel towards the glute. Keep the heart and sternum open. Breathe here. Now start to see if you can lift that knee a little higher. Doesn't have to be much. Maybe it's just like an inch or two. Maybe it's a centimeter. Good. Press into your supporting leg and leg down. Grateful for our Samavriti pose here. Excuse me. Grateful for our Samastiti pose. Arms by your side. Back at the front of your mat, big toes are touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart or feet hip distance apart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. So keeping your right leg grounded, extend your left leg back into a high lunge position. Keep your fingers down for a moment in a finger stand, and now send your heart forward and allow a little bit more stretch to go into the hips without dropping into your pelvic floor. So pelvic floor stays lifted, core is drawing in and up. Breathe here, gaze is forward. And now anchoring into your left hand, take your right hand to your thigh, roll that thigh out to the side, rotate your navel to the right, and now extend the right arm up in the air. So what we have a tendency to do in this posture is lift your right hip high and drop your left hip. So do the opposite, lift your left hip up and lower the right. And now enjoy this twist. It's one of those gentle twists. We can get a lot of space in the spine. We've got good extension here. Breathe deeply. Keep lifting both up and out through that back heel. And you can challenge the hips a little bit if you want to go a little deeper into it. But again, we're not losing that pelvic floor in any way. Last 2 breaths here. And then bring fingertips to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. So just right leg goes back. And find symmetry. Then we're going to take the left leg forward to the fingertips. We're going to spin the back foot flat. Line the front heel with the arch of the back foot. Come up through Warrior 1 and open hip and shoulder to the right, Warrior 2. So we're staying in this posture here. Heel to arch alignment. Activate the arch of the front foot, lift the toes. Bend down into the knee, so go into the groin, but again, we're not dropping or sagging into the pelvic floor. Extend the arms, look over the middle finger of the left hand. Now in the posture, lengthen the tailbone towards the floor. Feel the lower belly pull in and up. Allow the heart to really open here. Send energy from the chest, from the shoulders, out through the fingertips. So any tension that you tend to carry in that upper back, shoulder, neck area, just release it here through intentional extension through the fingers. And go a little deeper into that front knee. Last one. Back hand to thigh, turn and look at the left palm, reverse side angle. So keep the knee bent, feel that space, stay low in the hips, and now push into your front leg, extend all the way out of it, lift up, lengthen that top arm or the left arm over that front leg. We're gonna come into a wide triangle, reach, 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 so you can't go any further, and then hand to the shin, ankle, foot, or floor, and right arm lifts. Now arm presses into leg, leg presses into arm. Fingers in the top hand are together. Extend your sternum away from your pubic bone. So how far can you send your heart? And then rotate from the navel and lean back with the chest. Breathe here. And those of you that are comfortable, this top arm goes over the head for a little bit more extension. Keep pressing the outer foot away from the crown of the head. So legs are really firm. I always think, again, that mountain pose. I think of the base of the mountain here, wide and stable. Good, 2 more. And then bring your fingertips to the floor. Pivot on the ball of the back foot for high lunge on this side. Breathe deeply here. So press that front shin bone away from the back heel. Extend the heart now. Look forward. See if we can flatten out some of that back, upper back, the tension that we like to carry there. Breathing deeply. Gaze is steady. Physical body is opening, coming into greater and greater health. Now, right hand's gonna plant. Left arm or hand can go to the thigh. Roll it down as you rotate your navel to the left. And then left arm lifts up. So again, keep rolling the outer left hip down while the right hip lifts up. And this should help to keep that sacrum more stable. Then from there, you're rotating the navel deeply to the left. Full, complete breaths. Utilize this extension. When the spine is long, then the rotation's more natural. One more breath here. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Step back to down dog. Find symmetry. Enjoy that for just a moment. Now the right foot's going to lunge forward to the fingertips. Spin your back foot flat. Line the front heel with the arch of the back foot. Press up through warrior one. Open hip and shoulder to the left for warrior two. Again, activate the arch of the front foot. Lift the toes. Press to the outside edge of the back foot. Go ahead and move into that groin. So soften down just a little bit into the hips, but then keep a lift in the pelvic floor so the spine is nice and tall. Extend your fingers. Tailbone lengthens, navel draws in. Watch those low ribs wanting to poke out. And now really fix the gaze and send the tension from the chest, upper back, neck, out through those fingertips. Maybe challenge into the front knee a little bit more. Remember, you don't want to go over the toes. So as long as that knee's in alignment with the ankle, you're good. Relax your shoulder heads, 2 more. Now backhand to thigh, keep the front knee bent for a moment. Move into reverse side angle, or reverse warrior two. And then slowly straighten that front leg and feel all that space. Lift up, extend out, reach, 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 reach over that front leg. Lengthen till you can't go any further. Then hand down, shin, ankle, foot, floor, left arm lifts. You've got a long stance here for triangle, so you may be able to get to the floor. That's great. Fingers in a finger stand is fine. Top hand, the fingers are together. Now really press into the feet, so activate the legs. And then extend the heart forward. Lengthen it from the tailbone. Navel hugs in on exhalation. And those of you feeling comfortable in this position, extension, Utthita Trikonasana, take the top arm over the head, reach the fingers away. Head of the left shoulder draws deeper into its socket. See if you can lean back with your chest a little more. But just like that mountain, all of it comes from the stability in the base, from the foundation. As we open up these energy channels in the physical body, bringing greater health to the physical body, then we can concentrate on those deeper practices. Good. Now fingertips to the floor. Pivot on the ball of the back foot. Come into high lunge for just a moment. Send the heart forward. Stabilize here. So you can rely a little bit on the fingertips, but for the most part, we want to really activate the core and pelvic floor. Now, if you need some support here, we're going to take a block 6 to 10 inches in front of the pinky toe at a slight diagonal out. You can place your hand on that block. Bring your body weight forward. We're lifting the left leg up in the air, opening up that hip. Stack left over right, left hand to the hip. Lean back with your chest. Very similar to what we experienced there in that triangle, then the left arm reaches up. Now you can just stay here in half moon 2. If you want to go a little deeper, Ardha Chapasana. We're going to grab onto the top of the foot, push that foot into the hand. So it almost feels like we're moving into dancer's pose here. So as you push that foot away, feeling the front of the thigh open, the heart open. Oh, that beautiful, beautiful space. One more. And extend the leg again. Bend the front knee. See if you can come right into warrior 2. Push the right knee towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Straighten the leg, turn the toes in, and bring your hands to your hips. And rest. Keep the stance long, just another breath here. Press to the outside edges of your feet. Tailbone lengthens, lower belly pulls in. Good, we're gonna pivot the feet. Come into high lunge on the left side now. So fingertips come down, make sure the stance stays long. You can challenge that by going a little deeper into the hips, but again, don't collapse. Don't just soften in the pelvic floor. Okay, if you want that support, block 6 to 10 inches in front of that pinky toe side of your foot. Left hand onto the block, weight into the left foot, right hand to hip. Open up the hip, stack right over left. Back leg's extended, flex through the heel of the foot. Extend the fingertips up into the air when you're comfortable. Lean back with your chest. Remember, it's your core and your foundation in their legs and feet that provides the stability. If that's set, then the body's free to open. You want to go into that Ardha Chapasana, bend the back knee, grab onto the top of the foot with the hand. And push the foot into the hand, so you're activating the leg. This is where it begins to feel like you're in bow pose. Or dancers. Breathe here. Keep that breath steady, mind steady, eyes steady. Last one. Now extend the leg, feel all that space and length. Now bend the front knee, see if you can go right back into warrior 2. Stick it, push the front knee open towards the pinky toe side of your foot. And then straighten your front leg, turn your toes in. This time we'll heel toe in a little bit, hands to hips, and rest. And you can close your eyes if you'd like, or soft gaze, but feel all that energy moving through the body. So as we take care of the physical, we get to that more subtle layer, that pranamaya kosha. As prana energy is flowing through the body, the breath is naturally deepening. And when we can direct the prana intentionally, and we can begin to direct it into one point of attention, we can start accessing some of the higher qualities of the mind. So now take all that energy you're feeling and direct it into your spine. And think of, instead of wiggling the fingers or shifting in one way or another, take the need to move in that way and pull it in and charge the spine with that light. Good. And then hands to hips, heel toe your feet all the way in, and just come to stand in mountain pose. Just enjoy that symmetry for a moment. Good. And then we'll come to the front of our mats. We're going to make our way to the floor with the vinyasa. Big toes are touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose, flat back. Extend your sternum forward away from your hips. Exhale, stepper lightly, hop back to plank position. Lower the knees, squeeze the elbows tight into your side, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then from here, just exhale your tummy down onto the mat. Turn your cheek to one side. Rest for a moment. Let your shoulders go. Let your glutes soften. Slow the breath down. And turn your cheek to the other side. Continue that. And then see if you can clear some area around you. Arms are down by your side. Legs and feet are together about 4 to 6 inches apart. Ankles are 4 to 6 inches apart. And then we'll start with the hands on the sacrum. And we'll inhale the left leg up. Right hand comes over the head. Do this little salute thing here. And then push the hand away and turn the cheek and slowly lower the hand back to the sacrum and the left foot to the floor. Repeat that on the other side. So inhale, right leg lifts, left arm comes all the way over, you salute, push the hand away so you get a nice stretch for the neck, bring the hand to the sacrum and lower the foot to the floor. So try to coordinate those movements together. Again, inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. And exhale, and come down. Good. Continue with your breath, please. Such a phenomenal variation here of locust pose to help support the back. See how high you can lift that back leg, even stretching into psoas there. One more. And then rest. And turn your cheek to the other side. And now take your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to sit into Virasana. So Virasana has the heels to the outsides of the hips and the knees together. And if you're not able to get the sit bones all the way to the floor, then you can take a block or a blanket underneath the sit bones. You want to feel comfortable. You don't want the sit bones just kind of hanging out in the middle. If you want, you can even separate the two heads of the calf muscle by rolling the outer head of the muscle to the side. This sometimes gives a tighter seal. And then rest your hands here in your lap with a tall spine. So we're going to just sit here for a few moments. Tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. Allow that sternum to lift. Chin is in, back of the neck is long. And then fix your gaze, and we're going to do a little Kapalabhati breathing. So Kapalabhati is short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils. We'll just continue to leave the hands in Dhyana Mudra in the lap. So one hand cups the belly, the other hand on top, and the thumbs touch. Take a full inhale in here, chest, ribs, belly. And exhale about 3/4 of the breath out, belly, ribs, chest. Begin short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils, snapping the diaphragm back to the spine. Begin to slow it down. Now, make fists. Take your thumb in, wrap your fingers around. Mushti Mudra. You're going to bring them right into your core. We'll take a full inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to forward fold over your legs and let the breath stay held out. And as the breath's held out, see if you can rotate your fists a little bit, massaging the internal organs. Giving a nice release there for any stagnant energy that may be built up there. And when you need to breathe in, you're going to lean back, sit tall, and we'll repeat it. Good, full breath in. Exhale about 3/4 out. Begin short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils. Slow it down. Thumbs in, fingers wrap around, full breath in. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. And hold the breath out. Massage the internal organs. Notice any sensitive areas. Breathe in when you need to. Sit back on tall on your heels. Recovery breath there. And we'll do one more. And it's so interesting that each time we go in, we find like a new layer, a new area to get the prana that's stuck released. So full breath in. Exhale, 3/4. Last one, Kapalabhati, cleansing breath. Begin. Slow it down. Full breath in. Fists, exhale. Fold over the legs, hold the breath out, and massage. Lean back when you need to. Full breath in and out. No rush. Good. Release the block. We'll take the legs out in front of you. We're really used to externally rotating our legs. For most people, that's more comfortable than what we used to call pigeon toe. But this posture is a great way to counter some of that repetitive behavior. So if you feel like you need a little massage for your knees, give a little rolling rub there, and then go in the other direction. Okay. Take your left leg out to the side at a slight angle, and then take the right foot into the inner thigh for Janu Shirsasana. So rotate your navel over that left leg, and we're going to move in and out, again, deepening some of this pranayama practice as we move out of the more difficult or physical rather, as we move out of the physical yoga, we're going to move deeper into the pranamaya kosha, that energetic level, and see that it very much has an effect on the mind. So if you can reach your toes, you're going to grab onto the toes. If you cannot reach your toes, then a strap would be helpful. The most important thing to do in this posture, we're going to do a variation of Mahamudra, is to make sure that your back is straight. So if you could see yourself from the side, I can even move a little bit here so that you can see better, is that you want to make sure that there's a straight line from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. So we're going to flatten out those curves of the spine as much as possible. And the simplest way to begin working with Mahamudra is just to do it without retention. So we're going to inhale here. Exhale, bend the elbows, navel in, forward fold. Inhale, lean back, create that flat spine, draw the shoulder blades down the back, reduce the curves. Again, exhale, fold, navel goes deeply into the body as you fold. Inhale, lean back, flatten out the curves. So this is all you would have to do to begin working with this. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We'll do one more like this. Exhale. And inhale. Now stay in this flat spine, and you can continue to inhale, exhale here, just with the spine long like this. Those of you that are comfortable with retention or holding the breath out without any strain, you're going to inhale here. Exhale all the breath out as you fold. With the breath held out, don't breathe in, lean back and suck the navel and pelvic floor deeply in and out. Release the musculature, take a full breath in. So it's really key too that you have Jalandhara Bandha applied, the chin drawing towards the sternal notch. Take a recovery breath if you need it. And we'll do it again. Inhale, full breath in. Exhale, forward fold over the leg. All the breath leaves the body. Hold the breath out. Don't breathe in. Suck pelvic floor, navel deeply in and up under the rib cage, sternal notch to the chin. Release the musculature. Take a breath. If you need a recovery in between, that's fine. We've got 3 more at your own pace. It's very personal. Just remember, no strain. There might be some pressure, some intensity there, but we're not moving into difficulty or uncomfortableness. When you take that recovery breath, you can release the chin lock, of course. 2 more. And last one, whenever you're ready. And when you finish, just sit tall. You can close your eyes or have a soft gaze. It's a very internalized practice. And then we'll switch sides. So now right leg goes out just to a slight angle, left foot to the inner thigh. It's a modified Janu. You're going to rotate your navel over to the right. Right leg is straight, foot is flexed. Reach for your fingers, or excuse me, reach for your toes. If you can't reach your toes, use a strap. And we'll start with in and out dynamically, which is just like a level 1 practice. So everybody can do it, and you can continue it if you prefer. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lean back, flatten out the curves. So as if you're still holding the breath, but you're not doing retention now. Exhale, navel in, fold. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Now you can continue with that, or your inhale, you can lean back. You can stay in this position and just hold that steady. That's another great way to practice building up to this posture. Or you can do the work with the breath held out, with the bandhas, and that deepening of the mudra to really cleanse and purify. Deep inhale in. Exhale the breath out. Keep the breath held out as you lean back. Lift the pelvic floor, lift the core, sternal notch to the chin. Release the musculature. You can release the chin lock. Take a breath. And do that 4 more times, please. Inhale. Make sure you take that recovery breath in between, no straining. Last 2. When you finish the last one, you'll just sit upright, find your breath, eyes closed or soft gaze. And sometimes the sensitivity we feel in the back body from that is not just from the posture, but also from some of that psychological stuff that we hold in the body. It traps prana. And from here, we're going to make our way onto our backs. So bring your knees into your chest. Take a moment here just to feel the support of the earth on the spine. And we're going to do a little windshield wiper action with the knees. So have your feet flat, knees bent, arms down by your side or slightly out to the side, shoulder blades underneath you. And with the feet slightly wider than the hips, take the knees to the left, but the feet stay on the ground. And then come back to center and take the knees to the right. Okay, so we're just going to move back and forth like this. Knees to the left, windshield wipers, knees to the right. And you could really begin to go at your own pace here. It doesn't even have to be linked to your breath. Just as long as you maintain a slow, deep breath, it's fine. Stay heavy through the hips. Feel that massage of the gluteal muscles to the attachments at the pelvic rim. Again, any of those areas of tension or stiffness, just noticing where they are. Those are areas where that prana is locked down, and we want to continue to open them up, create space, and move that through. So now you can heel toe your feet away like an inch or two and continue to go back and forth with your windshield wipers. You might find it's a different sensation. If you stay heavy through your hips, you're massaging a little bit more of mid-glute now. And then you can heel toe your feet away a little more. Much less of a right angle between the feet, knees, and hips. And continue to move back and forth until you get to that point where it's kind of ineffective and you can just allow the legs to extend long to the floor. So if you need to put on any socks or sweaters, if you're in a cooler room, take a minute just to do that, unless you're really, really comfortable and you just want to stay right where you are. Remember, it is important to let the body temperature cool down slowly, especially if we're moving into these cooler months. And once you're here on your back, allow the eyes to close. If you have an eye pillow or a piece of material you can place over them, this is really helpful for going inward. Tuck your shoulder blades under you, arms are extended slightly away from the body, palms are up. And feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Toes just roll out to the side. The whole body is supported here by the earth. Take an inhale, exhale. And just feel everything settle. Inhale, exhale again. And one more. And now rest. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath. Move your fingers and your toes. You can roll your wrists and your ankles. Eventually draw your knees into your chest. Give just a little hug there. And curl into fetal position on your right side, arm under the head as a pillow, supporting the neck. And place the hand into the earth, slowly come back up into seated. Head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. And if you want to prop your sit bones up for a few moments here of pranayama and meditation, please do so. Sit with a tall spine and a relaxed body. So there are many different pranayama or breathing techniques that we can apply at the end of practice, and they all have slightly different energetic effects. But one that really gets us not only chronically charged, but also helps us to access a calm and stable mind, so that we not only can be the observer of the mind, but also begin to access that Vijnanamaya Kosha, the higher mind, that we really want to make our decisions from, is the Brahmuri, the bee's breath. So we're going to practice Brahmuri, the sound of the bee, and there's two options for the hand position. The first option is just to take the index finger and place them on the flap of the ear and just to close the ear hole off with the index finger. In this position, the elbows are pointing out to the side. The other option is what's called Shanmukti Mudra, and this is to take the index finger right into the corner of the eye, and you're going to gently, very gently place the finger over the eyelid. So we're not putting any pressure on the eyes, just gently place the finger over the eyelid. This is like closing off the eyes. Then the third finger is going to go right on the bridge of the nose. Again, we're not closing off the nostrils. We'll need that for breathing, but we're going to act as if we're closing off the nostrils by placing the third finger there. Fourth finger goes above the upper lip, and the fifth fingers go below the lower lip, and this also is closing off the mouth. And the last piece is to close the ears, and that will be with the thumbs closing the ear flaps, just like the index finger was able to do a moment ago. And so still here too, elbows are pointing out to the side. This is your Shanmukti Mudra. Okay, so bee's breath is just like it sounds, the sound of a bee, and the hum that goes along with it is like this. And so as we're doing either the first hand position or the second hand position, we're going to be humming the bee's breath. And I want you to really feel that vibration moving into the cranium and observe any other sounds or vibrations or sensations that come from this practice. And we're going to do it 6 times. So let's start. Choose the position that's best for you. If you'd like to practice that Shanmukti Mudra, get into position. And take a deep inhale in. We'll close off the ears and begin. you complete the sixth one, just lower your hands. Draw your chin and lift the back of your skull. And listen for nada, the sound of creation. The mind steady, stabilizing the Manamaya Kosha. To gain access to Vijnanamaya Kosha, the higher mind. It draws its information and light from the soul itself. So if you continue to hear the nada, the sound of creation, or you can just experience some peace or even light, allow the mind to absorb itself in that now. And begin to feel the bliss, the joy of resting in pure consciousness, pure awareness, the truth of who you are. And begin to just lower your chin to your chest. And keep that good feeling with you. Just bring your hands back together in front of your heart. Go back to the intention we set. Trust that you received what you could receive and let the rest go. And we'll seal the practice with Om Shanti 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 Hi. Deep inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste.